welcome back to my channel, and in today's video you guys, we are going to be doing a very exciting video. Today we are finally going to be doing my updated makeup routine. Now you guys, the last time I did this video, hold on, I have to go find it. I don't even really remember the last time I did this video, but I know that it has been a solid minute. 2 years ago. It was fun, it was cute, it was definitely perfect for the time being, but what you guys are about to get is full glam. I'm going to try to make this video as detailed as possible so every single step you guys can understand, so the girlies can have them a natural glam like me. You guys better get out your pen and your pad, pull out your notes app, pull up your Sephora and Ulta website so you can add everything to your cart. This is about to be the ultimate makeup tutorial of the year. First and foremost, before you do any type of makeup, you guys want to make sure that your skin is nice and cleansed. You just did your full skincare routine and you've also put on your moisturizer. Your moisturizer is optional because what I am about to do is go over my entire face with some micellar water and a cotton pad just to clean off any excess, any dirt that I may have, any oils that I may have left on my skin. Anything of the sort, we are going to wipe that all away with our micellar water. After I cleanse my entire face, you should look nice and glowy, and your skin should honestly feel very hydrated. I like to go ahead and get straight into eyebrows before I go in with any skin prep around my entire face. I am officially a fluffy brow girly, and I only use 2 products to achieve that look. I use the e.l.f. Brow Lift. Then I also go in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and these are literally the only 2 things you need. But I like to go in with the disposable spoolie and pretty much just dig into this brow lift and brush my brows straight up. They can kind of have a bit of an angle to the side, but mainly just go straight up with them. My e.l.f. brow lift is actually going through it so bad right now. Look at this, it dried up. I actually think I like it more when it's dried up. If you're someone who naturally already has full brows, you honestly could stop at the brow lift step and just go for a nice cute fluffy brow. But if not, if you have a few areas that you like to fill in, then that's when you go ahead and go in with your brow pencil. My brows have this natural arch that I like to kind of camouflage with the brow pencil when I do my brows this way. I like to go in around here with the brow pencil where I have this pretty prominent arch in my brows and kind of just fill that in so the end can also look as full as the beginning of my brow. For my skin prep, I actually only use 2 products, you guys. Very simple. And these 2 products literally get the job done with every single client that I have. I use the Kosas Advanced 96 Snow Mucus. And then I go in with the Embryolisse Makeup Moisturizing Cream. We're gonna get a bit of this on our hand. About that much right there. You can honestly go in with your hands or a brush. I personally like to use this brush here. These are the Manage brushes. You can get this full brush set off of Amazon. I do like a straight rub like this here on every area of my face before I actually rub it in. Make sure you get all areas of your face. You can start rubbing in each section, starting from top to bottom. Pretty much everything is just going in a downwards motion. I kind of just use this to bring any hydration back into any areas where it may be a little bit patchy on my skin. I may have a little bit of acne acne or just any like dryness that I'm used to seeing after my skincare routine, I want to go in those places with the snail mucus. So typically I see dryness in this area around my mouth. I'm also going to do a little bit on my nose. Speaking of nose, you guys, I want to try one of those nose strips to get away any blackheads, because I've definitely started to get a little bit more texture on my nose, and that kind of sucks. But I'm definitely going to get those nose strips and do it in a video for you guys so we can pull that off together, because I'm so interested in seeing like what the heck do I have on my face. The skin is hydrated, okay? You see it, you feel it. The skin is hydrated. It doesn't feel sticky, it doesn't feel heavy. This is skin prep that is preparing you for a good base. I'm telling you. I am telling you. To conceal the brows, I like to go in with the lightest shade that I'm going to be using today, or the second lightest shade. Today I'm going to be going in with the second lightest shade that I think I'm going to be doing, and this is the Born This Way concealer in the color Caramel. Leave all of my early brow hairs alone and start about here, the middle to end of your brow, and conceal. You want to grab a fluffy brush and just blend the rest of that excess, brushing backwards when you are at the front of your brow and then blending towards the end of your brow. So bam, this is what your brow should look like. Now's the time to just make sure they look as even as they possibly can. I see a few differences. I feel like this arch is a little bit more defined on this brow. Kind of make that a bit straighter. Brows are complete. We are going to take that same concealer and that same brush and get into our base. I did tell you guys that I don't use foundation in my routine, and I do not. And I know in my last makeup tutorial 2 years ago, I did this same exact process, I believe. I haven't watched the video, but I know for a fact I wasn't using foundation, hence the title. But we are still using concealers. We're still doing the similar placement, and it's still giving foundation even though it's not. I like to pretty much just go in a downward motion, start exactly on the crease of my eye, and I also like to go on my nose just slightly. Keep going right underneath our eye and just bring that product down. Now here you want to bring this over kind of like a wing. It's just going to give your makeup a very lifted outcome. Placement for the other areas, I like to put just a small amount on my chin, about that much there. I like to put it underneath my nose, my mustache area, and I like to connect this part with the under eye area. Lastly, you just want to put a small amount right about here. This is a two-sided brush, so I like to take the small corner, get a bit of concealer, and create a line right on the bridge of my nose. For around my mouth and the areas where I just placed that first concealer, I also like to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color Chestnut. It's a little bit darker, so it can kind of give a bit of a shade difference from my under eye and around my mouth. I like it to kind of be, you know, a little bit different, as I am a little bit darker around my mouth anyway. Alrighty, so once you have your concealer in the correct placements, you want to get your Real Techniques brush here, and I pretty much just like to start around my mouth and then work my way up. This process is used doing just dabbing motions, very, very light-handed. You don't have to be harsh with this at all. Start in the middle and go towards the other side. making sure you're staying right underneath your lip and then blending under your chin. Areas such as these, you can kind of bring the product outwards just to kind of bring some coverage also out of those placements. Dabbing in that area and the access can go to the other side of your face. Like that right there. For the under eye, the same exact thing. I like to blend it starting from close to my nose and then go outside. You can also kind of hit the side of your nose with that concealer, which is why I placed it there. It'll be very cute for your nose contour later on. This is what that line looks like. It brings all of the product upwards and it just gives you a very, very nice chiseled look. As you guys can see, we have lots of product on our face, but we do not look cakey at all. The concealer up here, you like to just stay right on top of your brow. You don't necessarily want to drag this any higher up than it was placed. This will just give your brow a nice concealed look at the top as well, being that we didn't go in and necessarily conceal that full part as we did the bottom. What you're going to do for the nose concealer is just blend that out with a beauty blender. You want to just pinch it about here and then dab, 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 up and down, up and down, up and down until it is fully blended in. For contour, I like to use this Danessa Myricks Cream Contour, and this is in the shade Deep 1. With this step, you can get any like fluffier, flatter type of brush. And first, we just kind of like to dip a little bit into that. The common places we all know about is right underneath the cheekbone. So I like to go about here, and you can kind of like rub it into that area, kind of like pre-blending it in as well. I don't like to bring this too far out, so about like there. For this side, I have a little map, which is my mole. I like to pretty much leave it right where my mole starts. I don't want to do too much since I have this headband on, but I do like to do a dab right there, right on top of my brow, on each side. So you start at your eyebrow with that, and then you kind of take it onto your nose and then drag down. That was kind of a lot of product, but it's okay. The nose is going to be snatched. That's all that means. I blend this out with this Morphe brush. It is just a flat brush, which just gives us the perfect angle to clear away this contour. We're all familiar with going in an upwards motion so that it is actually snatching the jawline upwards. And I also like to blend this into my concealer as well. We don't want any harsh lines. That is what that looks like blended out. And we're going to do every other area. Alrighty, you guys, so this is where we are at with everything. Now it is time for the best part, which is blush, of course. For my blush, I like to use this Danessa Myricks It Girl blush. As you can see, it is very much used. For this step, I honestly like to use any flatter brush. I'm gonna use this one today, and what I like to do is literally just get a good bit of it out. And I like to start exactly where that concealer line is that we made, right up under my eye here, and go up to that concealer. And then you pretty much just bring it down wherever your blush placement is, usually on your cheeks. Bam, 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 that concealer line, stop. Wherever you usually like your blush to be placed naturally. You also can bring this more into that concealer as well to create the perfect ombre effect here. I like using this product because the consistency is just so much different for what I'm typically used to. It's more of like a cream blush. I do think it's just perfect for preciser placement. I do love liquid blush and I use it on pretty much all of my clients, but I will say if Danessa Myricks comes out with these blushes in a bunch of different shades, I will be getting them. After we've placed our blush in the area that we want it to be, I like to get another of my Real Techniques brushes and pretty much just lightly tapping and dabbing this into our skin. Keeping that same placement, you don't necessarily have to drag it anywhere, but just dabbing it in that area that you placed it in. Also just blending in that concealer and the blush. What would this look be without going for a little bit of a bright under eye? Today, I'm going to be using this Tarte concealer here, and this is in the shade Tandy Punny. This is the placement for the brighter under eye concealer. As you can see, just a small amount. I did just let this sit on my face for about 2 or 3 minutes. You want this to get pretty dry so that the coverage can be amazing. To blend this in, you can either use 2 things. You can use a damp beauty blender, or you can go in with your powder puff. Today I am going to do powder puff. I feel like along with letting your concealer sit, this keeps that area so full coverage. Dab, 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 dab. That's all you got to do is lightly dab. Making sure that you hit the side of your nose to still create that very chiseled nose area. And also, you want to stop the concealer here. You can kind of drag it up here a bit, but not too much at all. So dab, 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 dab. We're dabbing. Also bring that concealer down so that it can be bright all around that area. I also like this concealer shade because it has like a peach type of tone to it, which I really love to go for underneath my eye. As you can see, hit the side of your nose like I said. Getting that really nice and good. And bam, that is it for the concealer under your eye. It's right there in the area that you want it to be, and it's just enough brightness, not too much. And also use that pad just to make sure every other area of your face is nice and blended, because we are done with all of our liquid products after that. Today I am going to be changing one step in my routine, and that is my setting powder. If you guys have not yet watched my Sephora Shop With Me YouTube video that I uploaded not too long ago, definitely check that video out, because that is the video where I got this Ultra Peach one size setting powder, and we are going to be using this one today instead of the regular translucent. Just as I mentioned that I like to have a very peach under eye so that concealer is perfect, I feel like this powder is also going to be perfect with just bringing that all together. So this is the color of the powder. Just dab, dab, dab that in there, kind of pinching it a bit. Wipe off any excess. Just as you blended your concealer is how you want to set your face. So you start here, then go here, start here, go here, start here, go here, then hit the side of your nose. Lightly, this process doesn't take any type of heavy-handedness. It barely takes any powder. Oh yeah, this powder is the truth. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. That is so perfect. Oh my gosh. I've used this on a few of my clients already, and I loved my clients' makeup yesterday using it. After you get your under eye together, you want to go ahead and do every other area of your face where you put concealer. For your nose concealer and your forehead, I like to get the tip end of my powder puff, dip it in the product, and then go right up where we added that first line of the concealer, similar to that. And then the excess, just dab that. You don't even have to blend it in, just dab it. Do a little bit of powder on your eyes as well to kind of just mattify everything else. To do that a bit quicker, I like to use a big fluffy brush like this and dab into that powder, knocking a good bit of it away. Like, you don't need too much at all for this. And then just go over your face so that you can kind of make sure that you have mattified every other area. I've gone ahead and did my baking placement. Pretty much I used the One Size translucent powder for this part. I baked here on my nose, and then underneath my eyes, and then here. Wrapping this up, since my camera wants to start dying on me, we're gonna go ahead and go in with all of our powdered products. First and foremost is, of course, our bronzer, and for my bronzer I like to use this oldie but a goodie. This is one of the first things I ever got when I started doing makeup on others. This is my Juvia's Place bronzer palette in tan. These two shades right here are what I use. I like to go in with this Morphe M403 brush right here, and I hit right here, and then my nose again. So I'm gonna do a few dabs, a few wipes of that. Just start right above where my blush is. You can get it on your brow, it is a-okay. Literally in this little area here, and then all of the excess you can place in the middle area. So bam, literally like that right there, and like I said, access middle area. But mainly just focus your bronzer right there in that area. And that just adds so much more dimension to your look overall. And then I kind of like to get this lighter one here, do a few swipes of that, and then hit the middle a little bit more exaggerated on its own, so it should look something like that. For my cheeks, I like to use this brush here, something a little bit smaller and a little bit more precise, because this area doesn't need to at all be everywhere. It just needs to be exactly there to chisel those cheeks. And then literally where I placed my contour, in those same areas, and you can kind of go into your blush a little bit. For my nose bronzer, it's the same exact areas where I did my nose contour, the same exact motions and everything. You start here, really going in circular motions near your brow, and then you just slightly swipe it coming down to create that sharp nose. Just literally focus here just for a sec, really creating some dimension in this area. Get it nice and dimensional like that right there on both sides. And that little bit is literally enough for both sides of your nose. Juvia is obviously my girl. For my blush, we're also using this Juvia blush palette, and this one is in the color Volume 2. It has these two colors right here that I have grown to really love for my blush. This beat up brush here is what we use for my blush. It's going through a whole lot, scraped off. It's on its last leg, but it was one of the brushes that I first got when I started doing makeup. So your girl is still using all of her OG products, but it's definitely time to upgrade. Coming soon. As you guys can see right now, my blush is giving a bit of this color, but a little bit more of a pink. But I kind of don't want to add any more pinkness to my cheeks that is harsher or brighter or hotter, I would say. I more so want to keep it on the subtle side with these two colors, and this pink here on my skin tone just makes the blush so light but so noticeable, if that makes sense. Especially just bringing that color back into the blush, I use the top, and then to add that ombre that I love to have between my blush and my under eye, I like to use this one here. So everything in this area is going to be like pink. So bam, lightly dabbing here adding that pink back into your cheeks. It already did so much for us. Right where I placed my blush that was under my eye here is where you want to keep your blush with this top color. So right there, keep that nice in place. And then get this color here and just go from your under eye to the blush area. For this step, you can honestly go in with this Real Techniques brush and use the other side, because you use this side for your liquid blush, but this side for your powdered blush, and go in with this light color underneath your eye. Nice subtle ombre like that right there. And I'm pretty much just wiping away any of that baking powder that I also had in that area. Now it's time to just go in with our subtle eyeshadow color. I like to use my Juvia's Place, the Coffee Shop palette here. As you guys can see, it's very much used. This color and then the other color with a hole in it. These two right here, I like to go in for my eyes. Where my brow is again, and then go to the end area. So do that there. And I just literally go in a round motion with this. The perfect color that still keeps this a natural glam. So then I just go in with that darker color and just make sure I have enough on my lid so it is nice and noticeable to the naked eye. And boom. This step here I would call a very small, tedious step that makes a huge difference. If you're a makeup girl, you probably know what step we're on, and that is your bottom liner. I use the Inglot eyeliner gel, and this product was really a game changer. When I first started doing makeup on others, I was using an eyeliner pencil, and it just did not hit under the eye like this Inglot does. It's so dark, it's so deep, and it just makes such a noticeable difference to your look. We want to get us a chiseled brush here, and I use this Jessup brush. What I like to do is get my powder puff and just place it under here. So I like to start at the end and just kind of like twist my brush and go towards the front. Bam. I can also say using this Inglot, it's kind of just like decreased the amount of tears that you may get, because the product is so thick, it's so firm, and it's just so what it is, a nice really pigmented gel. You don't have to take too long on this part, and I can like speed through my clients where it's so fast you don't even have time to tear up. Now that we are done with our full eyes, we can go ahead and dust away the rest of this powder that is on our nose. You can dust it away or you can pat it away. I've really fell in love with patting it away. We want to dip back into the Coffee Shop palette and bring this dark color right underneath our eye as well. It's now time to go in with our foundation powder. There are so many brands that I want to try, and like I have already said, if you haven't watched my Sephora shop with me, please go check out that video. I dropped so many good products in that video as well. I mentioned that I wanted to try a lot of other foundation powders, but today I'm just going to be using my Maybelline Superstay, and this one is in the color 340. Bam, looks like this, pretty similar to my skin tone. I like to use that same big brush again, and I literally like to just go around my mouth here, and that's it. Starting from the outside where we placed that powder, and it just kind of brought that color back into that area. And you also kind of just want to blend that into wherever you're placing it, blend it into whatever is around it as well. It is now time for probably one of the most important parts, and that is your lips. The lips have a lot of product on them. So on my clients and myself, I like to go in with another little cotton ball pad and use some of that micellar water and just wipe off my lips as much as I can without wiping off any makeup that is around my mouth. I honestly feel like you guys have seen me do this lip tutorial so many times, so I'm basically just going to give you guys the products that I use, and then we're going to fast forward this part, add a little music on top. But I like to go in with my MAC Chestnut lip liner. I like to go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Velvet in the color Peachy Nude. If I'm content with what it looks like after those two products, I like to go in with my clear coat. If not, I am going to try this Patrick Ta lippy that I recently got, and it's in She's Unapologetic. And this is just a bit more nude, but I really don't want my lips to be too nude, like the ashy nude. Like, y'all know the ashy nude. I don't want that look. I want it to be nice and subtle and soft still. This is so pretty. You can honestly leave it matte if you want to, but if not, you just want to go in with some of your clear and just wipe that. And I just love what this lip color turns into with the clear on top as well. It just kind of makes it even more subtle and just not too ashy. I'm going for something nude but still complements my skin tone. We are now going to go ahead and set our face. I used to do my Morphe, then my One Sized. I've been seeing the switcheroo from a few MUAs recently. They've been doing their finishing spray, then their setting spray. So I started doing that as well, and I don't really know if I've seen a difference, but we're gonna do it. One Size first. And honestly, y'all, I'm filming this late at night, so I didn't even need that because it's about to come right off. But then we're going to do our Morphe setting spray. Drench your face. My usual favorite mascara is my Telescopic, but I don't have that one. Apparently, I got it in the wrong color this whole time and never realized. So it's like a brown instead of a black, and that ain't gonna do the job for these bottom lashes. So today I'm just gonna use this Morphe little one. I think I got it in like a Sephora shopping day in my bag. So just gonna do a little bit of this. Any mascara that you have, get those bottom lashes. Every time I do my bottom lashes, you guys, it makes me think of my friend Baby. She used to literally go crazy on some mascara on her bottom lashes. They used to always look so long. Highlighter is honestly optional, but I just like to get any type of little floofy brush and just use this Fenty highlighter. This here is Fenty, and it's in the color, it's Lightning Dust, and it has Fire Crystal, both of those two colors. I'm gonna just do this one. This is the one I mainly use, and we're just gonna just plop a little bit of that for some glow. Then I use this little brush and do the bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose. You can also do a little here if you want. British accent is coming out, y'all. Alrighty, you guys, so that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I truly hope this video was a great learning process for you guys. I hope you guys were able to get some tips, some tricks. If you were following along with me, please send me DMs and pictures to my main page or my makeup page and show me you guys recreating your glam to this tutorial. Comment down below if you guys want to see more makeup looks from me. Let me know how you guys feel about about this process and the steps that I take to go for my natural glam. Don't forget, you guys, I am a makeup artist in the Atlanta area, so if you do want to get glammed by me, don't forget to check out my Digelglam Instagram page. This is considered my signature natural glam, so if you want me to recreate this look on you, go ahead and book. I always have that Instagram in my description box down below. And with that being said, you guys, I will catch you guys in my next video. Run this one up on the road to 400k subscribers. Bye.